Shalom, Elder J, here to give you guys a garden update. So today is Memorial Day. I just got finished planting some stuff and I just got finished watering. So if stuff look like it's leaning, it's because of the water on them, okay? But you see the potatoes getting nice and wonderful in there. Mint still growing, looking good. This stuff tastes amazing. I mean, you just literally take off one of these bad boys and just eat it just like that. I love this stuff. Nice breath freshening it up right there. Here's a new addition to the container garden, a pepper plant that I planted in a Walmart shopping bag. Check out my video, the cheapest way to start a container garden for absolute beginners. This is my sweet mint. This is the best tasting mint ever. That mint tastes so good. Make sure you get you some sweet mint. Here's another potato. And there's another potato. Look at the growth on these things. Remember guys, there's only one potato in each of these. I started off with one seed potato for this and for that, and look at the growth. So I won't add any more soil to these at this point. I'm just going to let them go, and they should grow maybe about another foot and a half taller than that. My blackberry is still sitting over to the side. I don't know if I told you guys that's a blackberry bush. Basically, I'm keeping it alive until I move so I can plant it in the ground. That's basically what she's doing over there for me. All right. Now, let's move on over. Of course, my everyday salad comes from this bowl right here. Love it. My kale is already getting more leaves. If you start growing kale, I think I peeled them off all the way. Oh, here goes one. If you're growing kale and you start seeing at the bottom leaves turn yellow, just go ahead and pluck those off, because these plants are going to actually grow really tall, and so they're going to shed a bunch of these as they grow anyway, okay? But you don't want the plant spending energy trying to feed this thing. Just pick them off. I think I've done them on the rest. Look at how gorgeous red that is. Look at that. Beautiful. The heads are forming here for my romaine, a closed head. I love. I'm going to peel some of this off today. Marigold's still looking good. Look at this, you guys. Remember I did those transplants last week? Look at this. Not only did they survive, they are thriving. All of this is mustard greens. I don't know what they're going to taste like, but I hope they taste wonderful, because I have a whole lot of them. Again, some of them are leaning only because I just got finished watering out here. But look at how beautiful that is. Excuse me. My Swiss chard came back to life. I didn't think I was going to get any Swiss chard this year, but I am. Praise God. That's a weed. So they're all doing good. These are my peas. I just put my trellis net up today. And I'm also doing something funky over here that I haven't done before. I'm trying something out. These are my peas. Now, remember I told you I was saving these last two for summertime veggies, and last week I told you guys that I had random cucumber plants growing in here. I literally took up the cucumber plants because they were getting kind of big, and I planted them behind my peas so that they can share this same trellis. You're not going to be able to tell what they look like. This is one. I planted about 4 of them in here. You can't tell right now. They're going to blend in with the peas, but later they'll grow at a faster rate than the peas do, and so they'll vine up, and I'll connect them. And the peas that I grow only grow maybe about 2 feet or 3 feet high, so they'll come about here, but the cucumbers will go all the way to the top. Now, my theory is because peas add nitrogen to your soil, peas and beans add nitrogen to your soil, I'm going to use the peas basically as additional fertilizer for those cucumbers, so that as they grow, those peas will be actually feeding them. Now, that also means that I have to heavily fertilize this area here because it's so much grown in this spot, to make sure that my peas actually still gets some as well. But that's cool because in the summertime, starting from probably next week, I give my plants a liquid fertilizer. I have not done any liquid fertilizer yet. No, matter of fact, I gave this one a little bit of liquid fertilizer last week, only because I wanted to ensure that they didn't die on me when I did the transplants. But normally I don't do them, and I only did this one section. But once the summertime hits, especially for summertime plants like tomatoes, peppers, and cucumbers, they are heavy feeders. So every other week I'll be giving them a liquid fertilizer. Okay, so here's a tomato plant that I just transplanted today. It's looking weak because it was a little dry. That's okay, it'll be okay. It'll wake up in a second. Actually, I just put water in there, so it'll wake up in a little bit. 2 peppers. That tomato plant that was gone, I thought was going to die, actually grew a whole lot. The water just made it lay down just now, but it's all good. Remember I told you about those beets? I said I was going to have to take them up. Well, there's weeds all over the place in there, so I literally took up the beets, and I said, hey, if it worked for the Swiss chard, let's see if it works for the beets. I don't know, but I transplanted the beets back into this square right here. So it's 9 beets growing in there, and I had a couple others left, and so I planted 2 beets next to my 2 marigolds here. I left my celery still growing, and the radishes are actually ready to harvest, but I'm not pulling them yet. I want them to get just a little bit bigger, but you can, I don't know if you can see a couple some red in there. I don't know if you guys can see that, but some of them are ready to go. Alright, I also planted next to here's another trick I didn't tell you guys. When I plant tomatoes and peppers, I always plant basil around them. 1, because basil makes your garden smell amazing. 2, basil is a companion plant, means it helps the tomatoes and it helps the peppers. So you see, I have a tomato, basil, pepper, tomato. Okay. These, from inside my porch, inside the house, I'm transplanted. This is parsley, flat leaf, and I have some more parsley in here, which is curly. And I have a couple empty spots. 1 and 2, these are empty spots, and 3. 1, 2, and 3, they're empty. I don't know what I'm putting there yet. These 4 plants, a friend of mine from their garden, they had a whole bunch of sunflowers, so they needed to give up some, so they brought some to me. So 1, 2, 3, 4 are sunflowers. That is a sugar baby watermelon, and those 2 are a different type of watermelon. a different type of melon, excuse me, related to, it kind of looks like a cantaloupe, and it grows just like a cantaloupe, looks like a cantaloupe on the outside, except it has green flesh on the inside. So everything is looking wonderful. Hope you guys are encouraged. I just planted these. We'll see what these things look like. I'll probably do another update in about 2 weeks, just so you can see what these things look like. All right. You know what I always tell you guys, get growing. Peace.